Just 1 second. 1 second. Yeah, I'm good.
Well, Neil, looks like you came out victorious against this, undefeated welterweight prospect. So I guess what are the emotions now after, a comeback win like that?
Man, it feels great. I mean, not to just go out there and get the job done and get the finish as well. It feels great. I mean, I feel like with where I was at in my career, where things were going last year, open up this year with a statement like that, I feel like that's exactly what it needs to do.
And obviously, you faced the who's who at the welterweight division, but in your preparation and the ability to implement your game plan is kind of what you're known for. But did that fight play out as you expected? Because obviously, Mike looked obviously really like the total package in those first 2 rounds before you pulled it out at the end.
Yeah, I mean, watching film, we definitely expect him to blitz forward a lot more and be a lot more aggressive in his strikes and that kind of thing, forcing the takedowns, looking for submissions. But he definitely played it very smart in the early rounds, being very patient on the outside, kind of forcing me to find him in the octagon and just kind of this kind of countering me from the outside, so to speak. So that wasn't anticipated at all. But being down 2 rounds, going to the third, the coach was like, "Hey, throw a crush to the wind. You should get in there and get it done." So I just went for it.
How much of your game plan did you have to alter in there then, given what you were seeing in there that you weren't expecting?
A lot. I mean, especially with him being a real good submission guy. I mean, I think he won 6, 7 fights with the guillotine. So I put my neck or head in a compromised position. Going for a takedown on him was definitely something we didn't want to do. But when you're down 2 rounds, you kind of have to take a chance and go for it. And the third round played out how we thought the early round was going to go. If I went for a takedown, I thought he would jump for the guillotine right away. And as soon as he did it, I was like, all right, I have to capitalize his position to kind of advance. And I let him sink his legs around my waist to finish the choke kind of thing, and was able to do just that.
Given what you said, where you were at in your career, the pressure that you put on yourself, and to get this victory against Mike in Toronto, where does this win rank in terms of your career? Obviously, you beaten bigger names than Mike, but just at this moment in time, where does this rank?
Yeah, it was huge. I mean, at the end of the day, I beat the who's who of MMA thus far, but the sports of MMA is very unforgiving. It's more so what have you done for me lately? So, yeah, sure, I beat the Carlos Canes, I beat the Johnny Hendricks, I beat the Robert Lauders of the sport, but the sport of MMA has a very short memory, and it's more so all right, what have you done as of late? So, to go out to get a finish of a young, up-and-coming guy in the UFC that was undefeated in UFC prior to the night, I feel like it was a great statement. I feel like I'm still able to hang with the best of them. The young guys, the old guys, whomever. So I feel like I went out there and did exactly what I needs to do.
Those 3 names you mentioned, those are they fought 10, 11 years ago, and you're still fighting these guys who probably watched those fights when they were coming up. So do you think you get the credit that you deserve in the grand landscape of MMA, or is that something you just don't even care about?
Honestly, I definitely call myself a time or two sitting there thinking I need more recognition, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, when my career is said and done, the recognition may come then. But as of now, it's just all right, just keep looking forward to the next one. Tonight was a great win. It was a great victory. I'm not completely satisfied with what I accomplished just yet. Still have some more hunger in me. Still have some more in the tank to go out there and continue to accomplish more. So definitely not content with tonight's victory. I know I have a lot more that I'm capable of, a lot more that I'm able to show. So on Monday, right back to drawing board to continue moving forward.
I think I know the answer to this, but how do you want the rest of your 2024 to look like, and how?
As busy as possible. And we were literally walking into this room trying to lay out the fights that are coming out of the welterweight division. I mean, the sooner I get in there, the better. I mean, I feel like I'm in a great space right now as far as balancing personal life, professional life, and that kind of thing. Right now, I feel like I'm in a great place to continue moving forward and making this a year to really make a run.
What are some of the fights and names that you think would make sense in the next couple of fights?
So right now, a lot of the guys in the welterweight division are tied up. I mean, you have a huge welterweight card taking place in Atlantic City next month. You have MVP versus Holland coming up next month or in March. You have Gilbert Burns going against
Jack Della
his name. Yeah. So you have all these fights that are coming up. So I kind of have to kind of sit back and watch how some of these fights play out, so to speak, and see what's available. But at the end of the day, I mean, I've been a guy to take advantage of short-notice opportunities. And right now that I have my life in order, I'm definitely in the gym, just making sure I'm prioritizing different skill sets. Like tonight was definitely an opportunity for me to gather some data as far as what I need to work on, where I need to improve. And come Monday, we're doing just that.
Is it difficult for Neil Magny to sit back and relax watching fights?
Oh, 100%. This is the most difficult thing ever, especially with some coffee in me. I mean, I just love it. I mean, I love this sport. I mean, there'll be a day where I can no longer compete in this sport. So as I'm young and healthy, I want to get in as much as possible.
Neil, how different was this camp compared to the camp for Ian Gary? I know that was a short notice fight, but you had spoke about how you had a lot of things to deal with outside the cage. How much better were things going into this fight?
Oh man, this fight, it was great. I mean, the way that things came together, where I was able to actually prioritize my time in the gym and focus my time in the gym and actually beat her to train. I mean, going into Ian Gary fight and even the fights prior, like I'm sitting there trying to figure things out, like where I would get to the gym, I'll be there trying to train, and meanwhile I'm thinking of the 1,000 other things I have to do outside of the gym. So though I was physically in the gym, mentally I just wasn't present the last couple of fights. There was just so much going on in my life that like I couldn't really focus the way I needed to in the gym, but I feel like I'm finding a good spot where things are starting to settle, and I can continue moving forward, keep climbing.
No babysitters quitting on you on the way to the gym. I remember you mentioned that last time.
Yeah, I mean, that's literally just life and the way it goes. I mean, I'm very fortunate to have the group of people around me that I do. I mean, nothing like rocking your baby to sleep before resting practice and getting it done. I mean, like literally when I said all hands were on deck for preparation for this fight, it was literally just that. I mean, getting my kids to cooperate to go to bed at a decent time so we can all rest and wake up, getting ready for school, and be out the door for training on time. It was literally an all hands on deck type thing, trying to balance single dad life and professional life and everything else. It was yeah, it was amazing. I'm happy to see that it's finally coming together and is going well, and I look forward to keep moving forward.
And with that win, you've climbed up again on the all-time wins list for the UFC. It's interesting, like remembering how long ago you've been in the promotion. Like, is that something you can kind of reflect on? I know you've never like fought for a title, but that's got to feel good in your career, being with some of the other names that are up there for the all-time wins.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even with this week talking to Raquel about it, she was like, "Hey, how long have you been in UFC for?" And I was like sitting there doing the math, like, "Oh yeah, I've been fighting UFC banner since 2012 now." I mean, literally a third of my life has been spent under the UFC banner when I think back on it. I mean, that's a huge privilege, a huge honor, and I'm very grateful to do it all. I mean, especially as being in a place where physically, mentally, I feel like I'm still out there, so to speak. So it's been a number of fights that I've been through, being able to travel the world and fight the guys that I fought and still be present, not just physically, but like mentally as well. Like still being able to like have complete sentences and everything else like that. I'm like, man, that's a lot. So definitely fortunate for it all and I appreciate it all.
I know it's like close to like 1 a.m. here in Toronto. What are your plans? Like I'm sure you're going to enjoy the victory a little bit here, whether it's here or back in Colorado.
Oh, we're about to celebrate. My son turns 4 years old tomorrow. I'm flying home to celebrate right now. I mean, literally I'm getting off the plane and racing home to go pick him up, celebrate his birthday. Last year I was in Brazil on his birthday and got to miss it. This year, Daddy's coming home. We're about to celebrate.
What time's your flight tomorrow?
I think about 6 a.m. So
wow, so you're just leaving here and going right to the...
I literally packed my bags before it comes to the arena tonight. I'm literally a man on a mission this week. I knew I was going to come here, fight, and then get home to my son as soon as possible.
Trying to win that Father of the Year award or what?
And then I'm going for it.
Yeah.
For me, that's the most important title in the world right now. So the fact that I was able to go out to get the job done tonight and go home and be super dad, I can't wait for it.
Neil, can I get one? This is unrelated to your fight, but you might be in a unique situation that you would probably have a better answer than most. There's been this debate over what makes a UFC Hall of Famer, and it's kind of really come down to like Daniel Cormier doesn't think that Jim Miller is necessarily a Hall of Famer. He never won the title, but he has the most wins. You're in a lot of these record books, but you never achieved the title. So I'm curious, like, what do you think makes a UFC Hall?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that if I sit back long enough and argue about it, like who's legacy, who's this, who's that, sure, like there'll be some guys that are going to discredit certain things, like, well, you never won a championship, or this happened, or this happened. I mean, at this point, I still haven't won a championship yet, could be said. But like when guys like Jim Miller who were saying this, maybe his last fight, and some guys arguing that he may not deserve his chance in the Hall of Fame. I mean, if he gets it, great. If not, great. This is my life. I'm just fortunate for all the things that this sport has allowed me to done. I mean, the number of lives I was able to affect and touch over the last 12 years through the sport of mixed martial arts, that's something no one else can ever take away from me. So whether I get recognition for the work that I put into be in the Hall of Fame, great. But if not, I know the lives and the people this sport allowed me to touch, and that I'm forever grateful for. So if I get the Hall of Fame jacket, woohoo! If not, I'm fortunate to be able to help as many people as possible along my journey. Cool. Awesome. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Yeah.